new research for the BBC has highlighted the mental health issues that thousands of people living with obesity endure every day. A survey by Ipsos Mori suggests those who are severely overweight have the poorest mental health and feel shame, embarrassment and despair. One of the UK's leading clinical psychologists says obesity is a significant factor in the development of anxiety and depression, and that treatment across the UK is patchy. Dr. Denise Ratcliffe spoke to us along with Joe Beaver, who shared his experience.
It was quite bad. I used to just find a way, just going into like a shell, basically. No one to talk to, no one wanted to sort of associate with you because of your size. Walking down the streets in Glasgow, you had people like even just driving up nearby and just honking a horn so you'd something your skin. And the people laughing after that, thinking that, oh yeah, it's very funny. It really affected my mental health, and at times I did think, is it worth continuing? I did consider the ultimate.
Really? It got that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad. So I just did not like my life at all.
Dr. Radcliffe, I can see you nodding. Just explain to us, how prevalent is the link between living with obesity and bad mental health?
I think it's a very common experience that people living with obesity really struggle with their mental health. We know that people with pre-existing mental health problems are more likely to develop obesity, but in my experience the link is stronger the other way, so that the experience of living with obesity itself causes emotional and psychological difficulties, and exactly like Joe described, life starts to shut down for people, so they avoid situations, they become incredibly self-critical about themselves. And I think one of the really big factors in that is the sense of shame and stigma that people experience in the outside world. And we know that there are lots of judgments that are made about people who are living with obesity, and people start to internalize those judgments and believe that about themselves as well.
We've heard some comments even just in the press today. We've got a Conservative ex-minister urging the government to tell people they must not eat so much in an effort to stop them being grossly overweight. And the emphasis should be on personal responsibility. We saw Strictly star Tilly Ramsay, she's only 19 years old, being criticised on the air, on the radio, by a radio host, saying she's a chubby little thing. How important is the way that the general public and the media portray and view people that are living with obesity?
I think it's incredibly important. I think the media and people in prominent positions have such an influence on how people perceive people with obesity. I think messages such as people just have to be more motivated and have more willpower are just nonsensical, to be honest. The people that I've worked with for many years have shown more willpower than the general population, I would say. They've tried diets over and over again and have put heroic efforts into trying to manage their weight. It's just that the treatments we have available aren't widely available to many people, and the messages of eat less and do more just don't map onto the evidence base. So we know that there are very strong genetic and biological factors that drive obesity, and we need to be far more aware and mindful of that.
Should it be treated like other genetic illnesses then?
I think it needs to be a multidisciplinary approach. So by that, I mean that people have access to doctors, surgeons, dietitians, psychologists who can provide the multi-component treatment that's needed for obesity. Obesity is never just one thing. It's never just psychology or genetic. It's a combination of all of those factors.
Joe, would you agree with that? And explain a little bit about how you managed to turn your life around.
I went on to the surgery program in 2012, the end of 2012, and that's when I started to liaise more with the clinical psychology service. There was Dr. Shearer at Great Glasgow Health Board that helped me an awful lot, and he was a great help, working with me, working with through my problems with obesity, and eventually in July 2014 I received my gastric band operation. And since then, I'm down to, I think it was just not far off 18 stone, because mega good for you, considering I used to be 30 stone. And at the beginning, I discussed about wearing outside uniforms or outside clothes. See, I'm in my, you see my shop uniform. That's a large jacket, 17-inch collar, 38-inch waist, trousers. Whereas when I was a volunteer, I was wearing like 6XL jackets, 23-inch collars, 62-inch trousers. So it's been changed in the name.
And just finally, Joe, things really are looking up for you, aren't they? Because in just a few days' time, tell us what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. In a few days' time, or in fact, a week and Saturday, I actually get married. I met a lovely lady through my work with Obesity UK, which is a national obesity charity. So we get married a week and Saturday in Liverpool at the Harpins Night Hotel. So I'm really looking forward to that.
It certainly will be a happy ending indeed. And Joe, we wish you and your fiance a wonderful day and many congratulations.